What's up, everybody? Colin Sheehan back here on Trust the Profits YouTube page. It's been a little bit of a hiatus. You haven't seen me on the channel recently. I've gotten a ton of Matt DeSantis, which is always a good thing. He's been on fire with his picks. I've been a little bit of sickness, a little bit of holidays. I had a birthday mixed in, weddings, you name it. And it's been a little bit hard to get on here and do my normal shows. But we are back here. This is Doubling Down. And last time we did Doubling Down, I did a pick 3 at Belmont Park, and we hit that. I think it paid off about 9.5 to 1 plus 950 if you're a sports betting fan. So that's what we're going to go back to. We're going to go back to Belmont Park. We're going to go back to a pick 3 for Saturday, June 24th. Be advised that the weather in New York this weekend looks wet. So I do have a ticket here for you that'll cover both if the turf races stay on or if they come off. So let's dive into that on this episode of Doubling Down. That's right, Doubling Down back here on Trust the Profits YouTube page. We are going to the pick 3 at Belmont Park for Saturday, June 24th, and I decided to take a stab at races 6, 7, and number 8. Let's start off with race number 6. This is a mile on the turf. This is the Wild Applause Stakes for fillies, 3-year-olds. In the top right corner there, you will see the par of an 87 according to Brisnet. What stood out to me here in race 6? Well, first of all, tax implications. Hasn't raced in 239 days. Quite the layoff. I also noticed that there's not a lot of early speed. You have it for Soviet Access, and you have it there for Kerry. Number 5, Cecile. Look at this. Last time out at Churchill Downs, this was a race that I was intrigued by. This horse won with Julien Leperoux aboard. But if we zoom in, I want you to pay attention to right here what Brisnet has for you with that first call and second call is a plus 10 and a plus 11. And what that is telling you is that there was a lot of speed on this particular race. So it's set up nicely for a horse to close, which is exactly what Cecile did. Compare that to number 8, Breathaway. This horse in his last 2 races had similar closing style victories. But you'll see the last race, plus 16 and a plus 12, first call, second call. So that means that the pace was really fast up front, which set up nicely for this horse to close and finish second. But if you go 2 back, we'll highlight it in yellow for you. We have a -6 and a -6. That means that the pace wasn't as fast. And this horse was able to close at 7.5 furlongs. That was at Gulfstream. So it just stands out to me that Breathaway is a horse that has that ability to close, even if the pace up front is not as fast. I handicapped these races before I saw the prices. And to see Breathaway at 2 to 1, I was really hoping for a better price there, but I do think Breathaway is a horse that I definitely want to keep on my ticket. A price that I liked was number 4, I'm Just Kidding, with Jose Ortiz aboard. And you have to do a little bit of digging into the PPs, which is what I did here. This horse started 2 times going short. So 5.5 furlongs, once on the dirt, once on the turf at Saratoga, a second place, and then broke maiden in the stakes, restricted states bred race. Then they bring him back to the Belmont at Aqueduct, going 1 mile and a 16th into a grade 2. So this was, right into the teeth of it from maiden special weight into a grade 2. Finished 5th, but was 4 lengths back, so not terrible. Got an 82 on your Brisnet speed figures. Then they try the dirt at 1 mile, not even close. Finishes 34 lengths behind and in 10th place. Then he comes back in April. She comes back in April, runs again another short race, going 6 furlongs, and closes nicely, just missing for 3rd place. Now, last out at Belmont on May 29th, they put this horse in an allowance race at 1 mile and a 16th, was off slow, and was bumped at the 8th pole, and ended up finishing 1st, but through disqualification. So 2nd place finish was moved up to 1st with the DQ. At 10 to 1, I'm hoping that this horse, which is sired by Justify out of a dam sire of Lemon Drop Kid, average winning distance of 7.1 on the sire side, 7.9 on the dam side, That to me makes me think that this horse does want to go longer. So remember, as we broke through the beginning of this horse's past performances, they had him going short, her going short. I'm hoping that the distance is right, and I'm hoping that the yielding the turf is also where this horse wants to be. So then the other horse that I'm going to include in this first leg is the 3 Chad Brown trained with Irad Ortiz aboard. This horse actually has a grade 3 victory, which is high, far and above, at least from a graded stakes standpoint, better than any other horse in this race. This horse has shown early tactical speed, although it has a P3 on your Brisnet style. Has been forwardly placed, especially in that Edgewood at Churchill, where he was up close, finishing 5th. I also like that this horse has shown improving speed figures, something that me and Matt DeSantis always talk about. Don't assume a bounce until they bounce. This horse has gone 63, then to a 78, to an 87, to an 89. So drop in class. I don't think the victory is going to, the distance is going to be a problem, and connections that you certainly want to pay attention to. So leg 1, I'm going to go with the 3, the 4, and the 8 to try and get me through. The next race is on the dirt. This is race 7 for Saturday, June 24th. When I handicapped this race, I again didn't have the morning line, and I landed on the 1 and the 6. 3-1 and 5-2. I decided after seeing the morning line that I needed to narrow it down and take a shot. And to be honest, there was no horses really in here that flattered me. This number 2 is a horse that's been trained 7 times over the last year. Take what you will of that. It's either claim them and they want to get rid of them, or people are claiming them because they want them. But this horse was claimed 3 times out of the Linda Rice barn, and the last 2 times prior to this most recent one, the horse always took a step back, and that was kind of the angle I was going to use. Might have a pace advantage, could face a little bit of pressure from the 3 Blake B. The 2 is one that I'm worried about, but I'm going to leave off. I had the 1 and the 6, as I had said. I think the 1 speed figures certainly fit. Last out was all out, is what your comment has on the right side. That was a claiming 12,500, so moving up in class. Whereas your 6 higher quality, last race was at a mile and a 16th, which is what this race is being run at on Saturday, and it was in the mud. As I said, it could be wet on Saturday, so you could have a similar surface. And this horse, higher quality, performed really well with Manny Franco aboard, put up a 91 speed figure, which certainly fits here. My concern would be a possible bounce. This will be the 4th race off the layoff for higher quality. It's a claiming 16,000. He's stepping up in class as well. So this is a tepid choice, but I really was not intrigued by any of the other horses. I felt like the number 5, Jalen Journey, probably this race is probably too long. And the 3 I just thought was slow. So that's the decision that I've decided to make, which is to go with number 6, higher quality. So we're singling in this middle leg of this pick 3. Then we're going to go to race 8. This race is being run on the turf. Of course, if it's wet and they take it off, you have 4 also entered there at the bottom of your screen, including a horse by the name of Reserve Currency, who I think will be very difficult to beat if they do move it to the dirt. As I mentioned at the end here, I'll give you both a ticket if they stay on the turf and if they go off. In this race, I decided to go with the number 7, Pioneering Spirit. This horse has moved to the turf over the last 2 races, and we really saw a really good improvement. This horse is sired by American Pharoah. I'm always intrigued by American Pharoah horses that are running on the turf. I believe that they run better there. Not impressed with them having to drop down to the maiden claiming ranks to get that victory, but the last 2 races on the turf ended up being 2 of the better that Pioneering Spirit has had, being jockeyed by Jose Ortiz, who's hitting at 23%, and the average winning distance of 7.5 and 8.1. This race is being run at 1.25 miles. That's a long race. So when I go through past performances and I see 1.25 miles, I'm immediately looking at horses that both have the pedigree to go that distance and then maybe have also had a win or maybe a second or have performed well at 1.25 miles. And the only one that actually has a place in this field is the number 3, Tis a Giant. And at 10-1, I found it hard to ignore leaving this horse off my ticket. Last race, definitely would have to cross a line through that, running at Pimlico, finishing 10 lengths in 10th place. If you go back to, June, July, and August of last year, though, this horse put up 4 consecutive second place finishes with speed figures that, or at least they're in the ballpark. The highest speed figure this horse has put up is an 88. The average is a 90. So it's not totally out of the realm. I'm doing a little bit of price searching here. If this horse can get back to what it was running last year, certainly in the company. It's also going to be second off the layoff for Michael Trombetta, an angle where he has been pretty successful. The number 1, So High, being jockeyed by Javier Castellano. This is the horse taking the big drop. This horse ran on June 10th in the Manhattan. That's a grade 1 race. Remember, that was the race that was won by Up to the Mark. This horse went off at 48-1 and finished in 8th place. But earned was assigned 101 Brisnet speed figure there. Certainly, with the par being 90 in this race, is definitely in the company. Showed a lot of early speed in the races prior to that Manhattan. Actually ran in a Man of War grade 1 in 2021, ran in a grade 2 a month later. Took a little bit of a break, only ran once in 2022, and now is back in 2023. So hopefully second off the layoff with Castellano aboard, taking that step back in class. Not crazy about the 3-1, but definitely thought in this field this horse had a chance. Lastly, I used the 6 Royal Spirit. Maybe a concern here with the added distance, but when I look at a horse lifetime that is 9 for 12 in the money on the turf, out of the Linda Rice barn, I did not want to leave off Royal Spirit. So that is where I went with my pick 3 for on the turf. This is for Saturday, June 24 at Belmont Park, races 6, 7, and 8. We're going to go 3, 4, 8. We're going to single the 6 in the middle leg and then go 1, 3, 6, 7 in the final leg. If they go off the turf, obviously that first leg you have the number 9, who is a dirt runner, ran 3rd in the Gazelle, Shitabooty, 1-1. So if that horse draws in because the horse moves to the dirt, I'm going to single. I'll go 1, 6 in that middle leg, and then I'm going to use the 9 in the 10 that was reserve currency and Film Star out of the Linda Rice barn. That ticket will only cost you $4 because I can certainly see that chalking out. Let me know who you like for Saturday's pick 3 in the middle races there at Belmont Park. Hopefully they stay on the turf. And until next time, I am Colin Sheehan. Please like and subscribe. It's so huge for the channel. And let's go get some winners.